This is some of the weirdest profession gold making ever. This should just not work as well as it does. And if you told me before the expansion released what situation we were going to be in with professions, then I would just simply have not believed you. I have 2 inscription characters. One of them has 90 knowledge points and 57 profession skill, and the other one has those 90 knowledge points plus 120 more and 100 profession skill. And which one do you think is making all the gold? Yep, so the one I set up in about a day with 90 knowledge points is the one that's making all the gold. Even on the day of recording, so it's one of the worst days of the week to be buying materials, selling, and sort of selling stuff on the auction house. Even at the moment, this character can craft several things for a profit. And with all my other crafters like alchemy and stuff like that, can't craft anything. This guy can craft several things for a profit. And on a good day, basically everything this guy can craft will be a profit. And it's because of vertical integration I've talked about before in a few of the other videos. We can get some really good profit margins from this a lot of the time. I say good, I mean good compared to what we can get with a lot of other professions at the moment. So why do we make so much gold being a crappy inscription crafter? We'll get to that, but first let's talk about this spec. And this is the spec that I used on the 0 to gold cap in 5 days video. So the idea behind this inscription spec is to be able to craft everything as cheap as possible, as I've talked about before. So it's a 90 knowledge point spec, 30 points into pursuit of knowledge, 30 points into multitasking, and 30 points into detail orientated. Then from a knowledge point perspective, you're a perfect crafter as far as the sense of secondary stats and having the lowest possible crafting costs is concerned. So the better crafter, better as in better crafter, has 120 extra knowledge points. So I've put a huge amount more effort into this guy, and he has the pursuit of perfection knowledge tree completely maxed out. Well, this means he can craft rank 3 pigments, inks, boundless ciphers, and codified greenwoods. Well, that just all sounds sort of amazingly profitable, doesn't it? Well, oddly enough, quite a lot of the time, the profit margins on the rank 3 stuff is barely above what it is on the rank 1s and the rank 2s, which is just bizarre. The issue is that crafting rank 3 stuff is expensive. So if you're selling for 400 gold on a 300 gold craft, it is significantly different to selling for 1600 gold on a 1500 gold craft, even though they are both 100 gold profit margins. So when you are crafting at rank 3, your crafting costs are significantly higher. So you are much more prone to drops in the market and losing large amounts of gold. And what we are seeing at the moment is markets do seem to collapse quite quickly. Now, obviously, they do come back on the weekly reset, although slightly less each week. But the collapse is probably more dramatic than we've seen in other expansions, or at least it feels like it anyway. The point is here then, being able to craft that rank 3 stuff isn't helping the better crafter earn more gold, because you don't particularly want to be crafting that stuff, because it's just, yeah, you can make very slightly more gold, but you're extremely vulnerable to losing a lot of gold. So you're just going to use that crafter instead to perhaps craft rank 2 stuff maybe, and just completely forget about the rank 3 stuff. Now, the issue you have here is that with inscription, when you mill herbs, if you have too much plus skill, so that you turn rank 1 herbs into rank 2 pigments, then you get massively penalised. Now, this is something that's so bad that it feels like a bug. But, you know, it's not like Blizzard would leave a bug in the game that's been in there since early beta that we all reported like 15 times. So it's not like that would happen, would it? The point is you get more plus skill. Because you get more plus skill, then you can't use rank 1 herbs anymore. So you have to use rank 2. So you get more plus skill, and your crafting cost actually goes up and makes you a worse crafter. This was the whole reason that I actually started a second inscription character, because my first really good inscription character sort of got penalised because of this. So we have this absolutely weird, bizarre situation where this cheap-ass setup is actually working better than my amazing crafter that I've put a huge amount of work into. So what are we actually crafting to make all this gold then? Well, before that, I just need to let you know that we've set up a KChat gold making community Discord, around 1,500 members in a week, so we're growing really, really fast. Great place to get gold making advice. So if you want to join that, it's all in the description below, the link, etc. The inscription build can obviously mill herbs using a resourcefulness tool, and it can also craft inks, boundless ciphers, codified greenwoods using a multi-craft tool. And basically it's going to be a BIS crafter on all of these. Because there are so many different things to craft, and there's so many layers of vertical integration that you can craft through, it just gives you a lot of opportunities for making profit. So like I said, I don't think I've ever come on here and absolutely nothing on the crafting sheet has been crafting for a profit. Now, the issue is a lot of people might have is that if you are using CraftSim on a basic setup, then it's probably telling you a lot of this is not profitable. Because it'll assume, if you're crafting inks, it's going to assume you're buying the pigments off the auction house and stuff like that, which obviously we're processing all this ourselves, so we get much lower crafting costs than sort of what the auction house prices are. So something that looks like it's not a profit is actually a profit. So that's why this crafter is so good. Now, I'm not going to say this guy is making 100,000 gold an hour, because he's definitely not. But what he can do is, whenever I want to come on, I can come on and he can be crafting something and he can be making gold. And it's working sort of nearly all the time. Now, if I was playing all day, would that work? Probably not. But as a crafter that I can come on and do some bits on an evening or something like that, yeah, it works absolutely fantastic. Can always make me a little bit of gold. So at the moment, this guy is making more gold than my better inscription character, and he's also making more gold than my alchemist, who is a pretty top tier alchemist as well. And that's why I just think this is some of the weirdest profession gold making setup I've ever seen. So the TLDR is, in inscription, knowledge can be bad some of the time. Anyway guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.